Okay, so I'm supposed to interview you guys. So, question. Oh, Steve, come on.
Don't go too far.
So, do you play basketball a lot?
Just on TV?
No, usually Sneezy.
Just on TV?
No, usually play Sneezy.
Yeah. I love it. So, Gustavo, you're from Chicago,
I am.
right?
The suburbs.
How long have you been in real estate?
2+ years. So I got into real estate after going through some personal change. Decided real estate was the right choice at that moment. Going through some personal growth, development, and I don't look back. So I did 2+ years now. It's been a life change.
So how long ago did Marie approach you?
Right here and a half, 2 years ago, about. Yeah, I was at the year and a half.
So here's the $64,000 question. How long did it take you to say yes?
You know what, it took a couple of conversations, but again, I'm doing real estate, trying to figure this part of it out. It makes sense, right? We talked about it, a couple of conversations, and then I was in.
So what was your favorite thing about doing the show?
Again, I'm kind of shy, to be honest with you. I do some acting, but by nature, kind of laid back.
You seem like an introvert to me.
I am, but if you're in front of the camera, I do like the attention and the experience more than anything. So just go through the process. Right now it's a celebration, right? With the prepping, filming, and then inviting some of my past clients, people that I know. That was fun. Just involving my community and people that I felt already. That was fun.
So the Mexican Cultural Center,
Yes.
talk a little bit about that. Obviously it was something that was important for you to bring attention to. Why was it so important to you? Why are you so passionate about it?
So I had helped, in my previous life, I had helped Fernando, who's the main guy with that. So West Chicago is near his hometown, and he's been involved with that for a number of years. He reached out to me when nobody else was willing to help. We had organized some years ago a soccer tournament in downtown West Chicago that was featured here, and I helped to put it together. It was fun. I actually left West Chicago for a few years, came back. And the minute I came back, the second I came back, we connected, and I helped with the next two events. So just being close, being where he's at, and where our hometown is, just allowed me to be involved.
So I have to ask you about the piñata on steroids.
That's real. It's real.
How many pieces of candy are in that thing?
I don't know, but you could probably fit about 5 or 6 people in there, no problem. It looks like the Troy horse, right? The Trojan horse.
How
It's
high up
massive.
is it?
It's massive. I mean,
It's
I'd have to find a picture and send it to Marie,
Yeah.
but it is massive. It's probably, I think at one point it was advertised as the biggest piñata probably in the country,
Yeah.
life size, pretty cool.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
So Brian,
Sir.
how long have you been in real estate? What made you decide to get into this business?
Oh, I fell into the business. I actually was, I got.
You threw a brick and somebody hit you?
Honestly, that's basically what happened. Yeah, I was actually a personal trainer, and I was making not good money. One of my clients, I was just wondering, my God, dude, I gotta find a real job. And she's like, well, my boss is looking for an assistant. I didn't even look around for like industry, so I guess I was just looking for safe harbor at the moment. And I became the assistant of a guy that owned a large mortgage bank at the time, so I started on the banking side of the business before the first meltdown. And so I did that for 7 years. Market turned, and the licensing at that time was the same license. It was real estate, you do both things. And so when the market turned, I was left with the decision, do I want to go lending or real estate? I'm like, you know what? I'm so much better with the people and in those environments, and so I decided, I'm going to stick with this side of it. Had a really good friend at the time who was kind of my partner in crime on the lending side before. I said, you do the loans for our people from now on, I'll do all this side of the business, and I'll stay there. And so from then, I've just been building that side of the business ever since.
So thanks for sharing that. So the talk show that you did with Steve,
Yep.
and with I'm going to screw up his name. What was his name?
Tunde Ogilvy.
Tunde. So
Tunde Ogilvy.
was that your first foray into television?
Oh no. I did a lot. I did a lot of stuff in college when I was younger. So stuff in LA. To be fair, if things were like they were now, I'd probably still be doing stuff like that because it was fun. But dude, I drove a car into LA and back because you called for like an audition. I mean, everyone in my friend group kind of did that for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
But there was no Zoom, there was no auditions via like a computer. And so you had to drive your ass all the way into LA, and you're there for 25 seconds, drive your ass all the way. I did that I think I did it twice, and I was like, That's it. I'm not doing that anymore. That was horrible. And I didn't drive a very nice car. I was a college kid, so I drove like I think it had like an Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme or some crap. And I mean, it was a
classic.
It was a beater. I mean, I was like a college beater, yeah. And so I did stuff back then that was fun, but I couldn't do the drive. So had that world existed, I might have stayed there. I don't know, but yeah, that was my first step. Was like college.
What made you decide to do that first foray into television with Marie?
Oh, well, that was no big deal. I mean, I had already been very comfortable with the world of TV. I'm very comfortable with being in front of people speaking. That doesn't bother me at all. And I like that. I really enjoy. My outro is very sincere. I really think there's a problem in the conveyance of information in real estate, especially how people I mean, you can have fun and do stuff, but the idea that you kind of sit on a Learjet and suddenly put a $20 million deal together with the Sultan of Brunei, and that's kind of like a Thursday afternoon, is like complete nonsense. It's wild, but that's what we see. And so I was very happy to re-educate and help in that stuff, so it's very simple for me. Plus, I like the idea of using video and production in self-marketing and stuff, so yeah, it's easy.
So be honest, doing that first talk show, your favorite thing was getting to hang out with Steve, right?
Steve? Oh, yeah, the green rooms, absolutely. I mean, that was a good night.
No, actually, I was talking about the desk.
At the desk? Oh, yeah, that was fun too.
So you decided to do Real Men of Real Estate. What made you decide to do that?
You know, again, it was an avenue for which I was very comfortable with. I obviously really like the marketing of real estate through messaging that I think is a little more in my control, so I can kind of show presentation of what this stuff is and how we do it. So being able to be multifaceted in how I explain things and what I do. So I get to work with, I work with tons of clients in a lot of different places, so be able to show that width, I guess. Being able to show that was really good for me, but also I believe in video. I absolutely believe in TV and video. And so it really wasn't much of a decision. It was just like, how long is it going to take to get this thing going?
Gotcha. So Marie approached you about doing the show. How long did it take you to say yes?
I mean, I'm pretty sure she probably knew I was going to just ask her when we started. So I don't really think she called me assuming we were going to have a talk about it.
Yeah.
I don't think you did that. I don't think she did. I was O'Brien first to get that off the list.
Yeah, so you were already closed before you approached her.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she kind of checked me off before we started.
He kind of digs this. Do you get it? Yeah. So Eric, so you're in the trust business.
Yep.
So how long have you been in the trust business?
This is the start of my 15th year,
Wow.
and we have helped thousands and thousands of families protect their assets and create that generational wealth that actually creates a legacy plan. A lot of people forget that they spend a lot of time trying to make money, but they don't go, what about the next generation that can actually take this without the extra taxes and stuff?
So is that your favorite thing about being in the trust business?
It is, because like we spend a lot of time working our butts off, and we always have that mantra, we're doing it for a family, for a family. But I don't believe everyone in here has a last will and testament written, and I don't believe everyone here has a trust taken care of for all their assets and how the money's going to move. So when I realized that, it doesn't matter how much money you make, it's the legacy you're creating.
Yeah.
If you don't set it up for your family, then what the heck are you working for? Like, why are you doing this? And everyone gets stuck on the money. Oh, I got to make all this money. But what about the people that we actually love, our family, or the communities, or the nonprofit we want to help out? How do we make sure they get to receive this benefit? And that's where the trust comes in. And if you set it up correctly, you can actually help out future generations. And this is what builds generational wealth. And that's where I'm passionate about, because people have made all this money in real estate, and guess what? They go to their deathbed and they end up in probate. And guess what? The court gets 35% of it, and the family fights over it. And everyone's in dismay. You're like, what were you doing for the last 35 years of your work career? And that's where the trust comes in to really kind of mitigate that.
Yeah. So I'm going to throw something in here real quick. It's okay. It's kind of a personal thing. We lost a friend of mine 3 months ago, and he was 52 years old. And if you had known him, he was a Marine, once a Marine, always a Marine. Okay. If you knew him, you thought he would live to be 150. No doubt. This guy would never die of a heart attack at 52 years old. This would never happen. And what we found out after he died, not only was he amazingly successful, he's one of the richest people in San Diego, a whole ton of his estate was not his trust. And so it's now having to go through through probate. And watching this and seeing that you were in the trust business, and I'm actually signing my trust for the first time next week.
Nice.
Yeah, but it was one of those things that it just rocked our world,
Yeah.
right? The one guy that we never thought would ever die is gone. And now we're helping his family to try and pick up the pieces. So it just really got to me. So I had to throw that out there, sorry.
No, I
So,
appreciate that.
yeah, so it's a big deal. And if you don't have a trust and you haven't figured this out, get on it, seriously, because it's important. And it's not important for you because you're not going to be here, okay? It's important for the people that you're leaving. So what was your favorite thing about doing this show?
One of the fun things about it was with people to breed, a lot of people that I work with, and we're able to sit there and just kind of showcase what we do together.
Yeah.
When we look at a client, it's multifaceted. Like, we want to help the entire family. We want to help your business. We want to help you mitigate your taxes. Like, no one ever talks about that. Everyone's like, I'm going to make all this money. Well, how much can you actually keep?
Yeah.
How much can you actually give to the next generation of your family? And how much can the IRS, not take from you if you set it up correctly? Yeah, and that's one thing I really liked about the TV show, is able to showcase that with the people we work with.
Absolutely. So real quick, this is real quick, sort of a lightning round thing. What's the one thing people should know if they're thinking about doing a television show with Marie? What's the one thing they should know, Gustavo?
She will guide you from beginning to end. She's very supportive, much like what I do with my clients in real estate, beginning to end to close. Marie's the same way. Questions, ideas, conversations, and this is, to Chicago and here. But she was there the whole way, giving me support, motivation, getting me to open my mind up, and that's valuable.
Right. Same question.
Use the time of production for your marketing. Don't use the video for your marketing. So you want to kind of tell the story of what you're going through. Like, if you're using it as a marketing piece, you want to show that you're in the thing, doing the thing, not the thing at the end.
Yeah.
The show's valuable, sure, but actually the marketing of yourself going through the process is much more valuable.
Yeah. Eric?
I'm going to just say, if you get an opportunity to work with Marie, go do it. She makes it fun and enjoyable. She's doing something a lot of people are afraid to do. She just gets it to get done. And one of the things I have, like, we're right under, like, my monitor is get shit done, if I can say that.
Yeah.
Marie gets shit done. And you will respect people that get those things done, and that's what she does. So if you get an opportunity to work with her, do it. Because it's going to happen, it's going to get done. She has a great guy, Jonathan, that helps her out with he's amazing. And their vision is just to get your name out there. So if you have the opportunity, please do it.
So Brian, just to cue on something you just mentioned, I interviewed a guy recently who's a retired Lieutenant Colonel Green Beret, his name's Scott Mann, and he wrote a book called, the one that came out on October 1st, I interviewed him on my podcast about it, was Nobody's Coming to Save You, a Green Beret's guide to getting big shit done.
Yeah.
Right? And one of the things that he talks about that you just mentioned or just touched on is the struggle is your relatability. Your struggle is your relatability to other people. Right? It's not about the $20 million deal with the Sultan overnight on a plane on a Thursday afternoon, right? Day drinking, right?
Yeah.
It's about the struggle. It's about what you go through to make it happen.
Yep.
Gentlemen, thank you for doing this. It's been awesome.
Oh, we have a question from,
I'm filming the women's show, and I'm an architect, and so any advice for prepping or day of for the film itself, like highest best use?
Just relax.
Gustavo wants to tell you how he cut his hair.
Okay.
What's in it?
How he did his hair.
It's all about the hair.
What's that?
Have fun. Because if you're not doing something that you enjoy, then don't do it.
Actually, I would love to take people down to the building department because I think as an architect, HGTV has done us a disservice.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
everybody has this idea that you can solve a floor plan, you can get through the building department, you can get all your permits pulled in a half-hour segment and get it built. So maybe like showcasing some of like the real, what you go through when you open up a wall and something's built, not how you anticipated it to be built, and you have to go through a construction change. Or,
My advice is don't try and do the show, just do your job and let the thing record you. Like, I think, how do you tell the difference between good acting and bad acting? You can tell
feels
they're acting.
forced.
You can
Yeah,
tell
it
they're
feels
acting.
forced, yeah.
Like, you can tell it's good acting when you can't tell they're acting. And so the thing about the show is I would just do your day and let the thing happen behind you and don't try and do the day. You know what I mean?
Okay, thank you.